so we're going to begin seated, comfortable seat. We're going to do a little bit of breathing, a little bit of pranayama to relax our bodies, to become more present, and that's what we want to carry into our yoga practice always. So if anybody's here who's never practiced yoga before, really important to sort of set the foundation with calm and presence, right? So that we carry that into our practice and ideally off of our yoga mats into our lives. So get comfortable. Any cross-legged seated position that you like is fine. If you need to wiggle around, wiggle around. Yeah, it's all good. And then just taking a moment here just to notice. So feel free to close your eyes already if you'd like to. I'm not going to do anything yet, so you don't have to worry about looking at the screen. Just listen. Right? Just listen to my instruction, my suggestions, but most importantly, really like to invite you to listen to yourself, to your needs, moment by moment. Right? The real teacher is within. I'm just a guide. So feel into your sit bones against the floor or cushion or whatever you happen to be seated on here, and see if you can just allow yourself to ground down, sensing the connection to the earth beneath you. This is the earth we all share. And maybe through that connection we can feel almost a very subtle energetic connection to one another. Good, and then if you can, allow the lips to gently close. If that's not available to you, don't worry about it. Resting the tongue at the roof of the mouth often helps the breath to flow in and out of the nose. And really for the healthiest type of breathing, we want to just use our nose. But again, listen to your own body, your own inner wisdom, whatever feels best for you. Place your hands wherever they're comfortable, doesn't matter. Allow your shoulders to drop. Allow the face to soften, and see if you can just sit tall, right? So the spine is long, but there's no straining or struggling, and most likely you'll notice where things might feel a little uncomfortable. Right? That's usually our go-to. And then notice where things feel free and easy. Good. And then allow your breath just to smoothly flow in and out of your nose. And notice its pace. Notice that as soon as you bring your awareness to your breathing, most likely you'll want to make it a little smoother or a little longer, and that's great. So for today's pranayama practice, before we bring in some movement, some asana, we're going to do what is often called a box breath. I don't typically teach this breath, but I wanted to teach it today because someone was just talking with me about it last night, and it really does help to settle the mind, to expand the lungs. And instead of thinking of it as a box, if you're not familiar with it, we'll inhale to the count of 4. We'll hold the breath to the count of 4. We'll exhale to the count of 4, and we'll hold empty to the count of 4. But instead of thinking of it like a square, I'd like for you to instead think of it like a cube, right? So as you breathe in for the count of 4, you're going to expand in all directions. And then you'll hold the breath in that fullness and just feel it. And you might even feel an energetic expansion there. And then as you release the breath, the cube is going to get smaller. You'll narrow inward and you'll hold the breath for 4, dropping your awareness into the very center of you. So let's try it out. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Release your breath, 2, 3, 4, and hold empty, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath as you continue to expand, 3, 4. Release your breath, stay relaxed relaxed here. 2, 3, 4. Feeling that narrowing inward, and hold with your awareness deep inside. 3, 4. Good. Inhale, expanding. 2, 3, 4. Side to side, bottom to top, holding. Continue to expand your awareness outside of your physical body. Good. And then releasing your breath. Stay tall through your spine as you contract inward. And then hold empty as you just let your awareness settle in the very core of you. And notice. Let's do that again. Expanding as you breathe in from bottom to top, front to back, and side to side. Pausing, holding, but relax your shoulders. Good, and then releasing the breath, keeping the spine long, contracting your awareness inward, and pausing at the very center of you. Good, and now if you need to change the count, please feel free to do that, continuing on your own. We're doing a 4 count inhalation as we expand in all directions, holding and experiencing. We're doing a 4 count exhalation as we narrow inward energetically and focusing and holding in that emptiness, keeping our awareness deep inside. Good, so just continuing. Make sure the eyes, the shoulders, and the face stay relaxed. If possible, all the breath flows in and out of the nose. And just noticing what happens. Some of us like a certain part of this 4-part breathing better than other parts, right? Notice if you have a judgment. And see if you can do it in a relaxed manner so you're not straining. The breath isn't so full that there's a struggle. You're not holding empty so long that you're gasping for the next breath. So you're finding your rhythm, your pace, where you can stay very relaxed and calm. Right? And in life we have our awareness inward, where the universe sort of centers around ourselves very often, right? The world, how we perceive things, but then we're also always putting our awareness out there, right? Bringing the outside world into our own experience. So this is just a really beautiful practice to sort of balance those two, as well as to calm you down. Become very present. Just go through 2 more cycles on your own. And when you finish your last round, just take a nice free breath in and let the breath go. Mouth or nose is fine, whatever you need. And then when you're ready, you can reopen your eyes if they were closed, and just notice if anything shifted from before we began. All right, so from here, you guys, let's come up onto hands and knees. And we'll bring some movement into the body. We moved the breath a lot, we moved the energy a lot. Now we're going to move our bodies. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We're just stacking things up. And then we're just going to cat-cow here. So sit bones lift, heart comes forward, gaze comes forward as we inhale. And then we're going to round the back on the exhale. Drop the head, press the floor, and dome the mid-back. And again, inhaling. And through our practice, if we can keep a 4 count breath without the holds, that would be really ideal. But again, listen to your own body, your own inner wisdom, and do what's right for you. We're going to go 1 more cycle here. A little sway back on the inhalation and a rounded back on the exhalation. Really drop the head, press the floor. Good, and then from here, just open up your knees, a little wider than your feet. Drop your hips back to your heels, child's pose. And keep the breath flowing as you notice what's going on internally. So I sometimes like to wiggle my head side to side against the floor, wiggle my hips, and just kind of loosen things up. Do whatever feels right for you. And then you'll come back up to hands and knees, bringing the knees back under the hips. Wrists stay under the shoulders, maybe the hands didn't move, and we'll just take the left leg and reach it straight back, no higher than the hip. Toes are pointing down, even that pinky toe. Press into the left hand, take the right arm forward, and reach forward with that right hand thumb up like you're going to shake someone's hand. All right, so they call this spinal balancing. It helps to balance the two hemispheres of the brain. And we're just tractioning the spine here as the heel and hand reach away from one another, and the breath is flowing and the gaze is right down at the mat so the back of the neck stays long. Good, and then on your next exhalation, bend the lifted knee and elbow, bring them beneath you. They can touch or not, up to you, round the back. Extend the limbs apart, inhale. And again, rounding as you exhale, 3 and 4. Extending on the inhale, 2, 3, 4. Last time, rounding as you exhale. So there's that contraction, that moving in towards center, that extension and expansion on the inhale. Good, and then stay here, lift up your right hand, bend the back leg, see if you can catch the foot anywhere, and then just gently kick the foot up and back so that right shoulder rolls back. You can turn the head if you like. And just feeling it out, breathing, keeping the face relaxed. Good, and then we'll let the foot go and come back down center for one final extension and expansion. Inhale. And hand and knee return to the floor. Exhale. Good, and we'll go right into the other side, right foot back, pinky toe down, inner thigh rolling up, strong long leg, left hand forward, thumb up. Good, and then everything's stacked, right? The foot and hand are lifting away from the floor somewhat equally. It doesn't have to be perfect. The head's not drooping. The right hand is pressing any amount. So feel into that expansion here as you breathe in. And as you exhale, the knee and elbow come beneath you and you round the back. You can drop the head and press the floor. Good, extend out on the inhalation. And hug inward on the exhalation, returning to center. Good, lengthen, inhale. And hug everything in toward the midline. Exhale, drop the head, press the floor. Good, extend out on the inhale. I think we did 3 on the last side. Lift up the left hand, bend the back leg, catch the foot and kick it back. If we did an extra one and you want an extra one, feel free. Sometimes when I talk, I lose count. It's all good. So pressing the floor, staying connected to your breath, and just feeling what's going on for you here in your body, in your mind, and your breathing. Good, let's let the foot go. Come back to center. Final inhalation, expanding. And return to hands and knees. And then let's just cat-cow again. Inhale, heart forward. Sway back. Exhale, drop the head and round the back. Good, and we'll come back to a neutral spine unless you feel like you need another child's pose. Please feel free. Otherwise, toes are going to curl under, knees are going to lift up and back for downward dog. And if you think of it, child's pose is sort of like a contracted version of child's pose, downward dog, which is more expansive, right? So in down dog, just notice it, feel it, what's going on for you. Can you dip your heels a little, lift your hips a little, press into the floor a little, drop the head a little. And I keep saying a little so that we don't overdo, right? We don't want to make it our deepest, fullest downward dog stretch. It's just the first one. And then notice the breath. Soften the face. See if you can continue to flow in a 4-4 pattern. Just 4 on the inhalation and 4 on the exhalation without holding. And I like to lift up my heels, stretch the arches of the feet a little. You can pedal out the knees if that's nice. Maybe you're in child's pose, and that's great. Good. When you're ready, you're going to make your way to the front of the mat so you can bend the knees and look forward. And then just gently, slowly walk forward. You might hop if you're young. Go ahead and lift up the heart halfway as you inhale. And then fold in half as you exhale. Drop your heavy head, clasp elbows, maybe a little sway, maybe the knees are bent, maybe they're straight. What do you need today? It's a different day. Brand new day. Brand new practice. Good. From here, we're just going to sweep the arms back, lift the heart halfway away from the floor, coming back to that flat back. I like the knees a little bent here so the spine can lengthen, so you're not hunched or rounded, right? And then keep bending your knees deep, deep, deeper until you're almost toward chair pose. Maybe the hips drop as low as the knees. Sweep the arms up, chair pose. So if you can, the pinkies rotate towards each other, the upper back is broad, and the belly hugs in. And you can lift all 10 toes to protect those knees. So you're sinking the hips, reaching the fingertips. And then on an inhale, we're going to press up and stand up and reach up. Hands come to the heart as you exhale. Prayer pose, good. Shoulders pull back and down, belly pulls in. You're going to just stand tall, lifting the top of the head toward the ceiling or the sky. If you're lucky enough to be outside, feel into that grounding down against the earth, the softness of the face, the length of the spine, and the flow of your own breath. Good. On the next inhalation, reach up. Fold forward as you breathe out. 2, 3, and 4. Halfway up as you inhale, hands can float up to the shins. Plank pose on the exhale, so hands come down. We'll step both feet back. Top of a push-up. Pressing into the floor, we inhale. Engage the core. And then slowly lower to the mat on the exhale. Knees can always drop first. Point the toes back. Lift the heart. Inhale, gentle cobra pose. And roll back down as you exhale. Curl under the toes. You can press to hands and knees or back to plank. And into down dog or child's pose. I'll probably demonstrate both. So find your pace, your rhythm, the movements that serve your body best here. And just a couple more breaths in this shape, whether you're in down dog or child's pose. And then we'll make our way to the front of the mat. Bending the knees and looking forward as you inhale. And through an exhale, just walk to the top. Good. On the inhale, the heart comes halfway up. And on the exhale, we'll fold. We'll make our way to chair pose. This time on the inhale, bend the knees, lift the hands. Stay for the exhale, hug the belly in, drop the shoulders a little. Good, and then on the inhale, we're gonna rise up, reach up. You can lean back if you want to. Hands to the heart, exhale, belly pulls in, stand tall. One more time only, reaching up, inhale. Folding forward, exhale. Drop your head. Halfway up on the inhale, back to the plank as you exhale, pressing the floor, engaging the core, inhale, and lowering down on the exhale, knees can drop first. Gentle cobra, inhale, heart lift, shoulders pull back. Maybe this time you go straight to child's pose on the exhale, or maybe downward dog, your choice. Couple breaths. If you're in child's, relax the shoulders and face. If you're in down dog, draw the thigh bones back. We'll make our way to the top of the mat, bending the knees, looking forward, inhaling, and walking to the top, exhaling. Good. Halfway up, inhaling. And folding into your exhale, back to the chair, bend the knees, lift the hands, inhale. We're going to stay for the exhale, and we're going to stay a little longer here today. We're going to do something else. So we're going to steady the gaze. We're going to steady the breath. We're going to bring all the weight into the left foot and just lift the right heel off the mat. So it's okay if you're not low in your chair here. What I'd like you just to do is cross the right knee over the left knee. Now, the right toes can touch the floor to anchor you. If you have the ability to wrap the foot around the calf, go for it. I'm going to touch the floor with my toes. And then see if you can draw that right hip back. Take the arms in front of you. And the left arm is going to go over the right arm, so it's Garudasana, eagle pose. Palms can come together or not. If this doesn't work for you, feel free to grab opposite shoulders. Yeah, it's all good. Good, and then play with it. Just play with it. Belly pulls back. Maybe the hips sink a little lower. Maybe the knees press against one another. Maybe the elbows press against one another, or forearms. Can you drop the shoulders, lengthen the spine, and maybe lift the elbows? And if you're not feeling anything and you want to go deeper, optional to fold, elbows to knees. Optional. Wherever you are, keep the breath flowing. Try not to overdo. Good. We'll take one more breath cycle here. Separate the shoulder blades a bit. Pull the belly back a bit. Good. And then we'll come back up to standing, feet next to each other, arms sweep out and up, reach up, inhale, fold forward, exhale. Good, halfway up, inhale, plank pose, exhale. We're going to get to the other side after this. Inhale in your plank, gently lower to the floor, exhale. Roll up to your cobra, you might want up dog, inhaling, and child's pose or down dog on your exhale. Taking your few breaths, steadying the breaths, balancing the breaths. Each inhale is a natural expansion. Each exhale is a natural contraction and return to center. Look forward, bend the knees, inhale. When you're ready, mosey on up to the front of your mat. Halfway up as you inhale. Fold in half as you exhale. Chair pose, bend the knees, lift the fingertips. Good, relax your shoulders. Now steady your gaze, steady your breath. Those always help with balance. And this time, the weight's gonna shift into the right foot. You're gonna lift the left heel, just starting there. And then see if you can cross the left knee over right knee. The foot can wrap or the toes can touch the floor. Right? So left hip anchors back. It kind of wants to roll forward. Arms come in front of you. So left knee's on top of right, which means right arm goes on top of left. You're going to make whatever kind of wrap you can, comfortably, without the shoulders lifting to the ears. So shoulders drop, sink into the legs. Belly pulls back, shoulder blades separate. Now you can squeeze elbows and knees together to create more space in the back body and see if you can feel what happens on your inhalation. Is there more expansion into the back side of the body? And see what happens on your exhalation. Can you contract a little? Remember, you can fold if you want to fold. Keep the breath flowing, keep the eyes and shoulders relaxed. Sink as low as you want to go. Good, and we're just going to come out easily and slowly by straightening the legs, uncrossing, feet next to each other, arms sweep out and up, inhale, and fold forward, exhale. Good, flatten out, inhale, get long through your spine, and plank as you exhale. Pressing into the floor, we breathe in. Lowering down, we breathe out. Rolling up, breathing in. And down dog or child's pose as we breathe out. Good, and then finding your place. Very nice, you guys. All right, bending the knees, looking forward as we inhale, and walking to the top of the mat on the exhale. Coming halfway up on the inhale. Folding in half on the exhale. Chair pose, inhale, sink the hips, reach the fingertips. Pause for the exhale, draw the belly in. We're not going to cross again. Rise up, reach up, inhale. And hands to the heart, exhale. Reach up, take a breath in. Fold as you breathe out. Halfway up on the inhale, pause. Hands on shins or floor. And then bring your hands to the floor, bend the right knee, and just take a big old step back with the left foot. All right, so keeping that, let's just pivot the left heel flat. Look down at the right toes so the torso is aligned over it a bit. Lift up the left hand. So the right hand can be on the floor outside the foot or inside the foot, or the elbow can be on the thigh, your choice. And then just reach that left hand straight back, spin the thumb down, palm faces behind you, and arm comes behind you to roll that left shoulder up, to look down at the right toes, to pull the belly in, and then release the back arm, reach it back to rise up. Warrior two. Good. So take a quick look at your front foot and just turn the toes in a little bit. And then take a quick look at your back foot and turn the heel in. So the toes are going to angle out, the knees are going to angle out, and we call this standing frog. And then you're going to come into goddess pose, which is lifting the hands. So the arms and knees are at somewhat of a 90-degree angle, right? And so we did that contraction with everything coming together, and now there's this beautiful expansion. Drop the shoulders, see if you can feel into what's happening here on the front side of the body. As you breathe in, let it grow a little bigger. And as you breathe out, you're just hugging the belly in, and maybe sink a little lower into the legs. Good. Now we're going to rise up and reach up on an inhale. Palms can come together. Back toes angle in. We're going to turn forward, reach up, inhale, little stretch back if that's nice. You can even bring your hands behind your head. Bend the front knee and bring both hands to the top of your yoga mat. Lift the back heel. Step it back to plank. Inhale. Lower down. Exhale. Rolling up. We inhale. And down dog or child's pose on the exhale. And relax and settle and breathe. And just explore. Good. When you're ready, look forward, bend the knees, inhale. And again, we walk forward on the exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Folding into the exhale, we're going to bend the knees, sink the hips, lift the fingertips. Chair is your inhale. Stay for the exhale today. Hug the belly in, maybe sink lower. Rise up, reach up. You can look up, inhale. Hands to the heart, exhale. Pull the belly back and then reach up, breathe in. Fold as you breathe out. Let all the breath empty. Let the head fall. Halfway up, hands to shins is fine for that length on your inhale. And then hands to the floor as you exhale. Left knee's gonna bend and right toes step all the way back. So you can already start by looking over that left toe, big toe. And you're gonna pivot the back heel flat. See if you can keep the torso aligned over the left thigh as you lift the right hand up. So again, hand can come inside, outside, or elbow to thigh. Sometimes it's nicer to back off a little, right? So that the breath isn't holding, the body's not struggling. Take that right hand, reach it straight back toward the back foot. Pivot the thumb down, take it behind you. And just roll the top shoulder up as you gaze down at that left big toe. I find it's a nice release on the right side of the neck here. You can hug the belly in for some support. Good, and then release the back hand, reach it back. We're gonna rise up, second warrior, arms spread, front knee bends. Take a look at the front toes, right? We're gonna turn them into that top right corner of the mat. We're gonna look at the back foot. We're gonna turn that heel in. So we want the toes angling to the corners and the knees trying to stack over the ankles rather than collapsing in. So readjust so that you're stacked up safely. Goddess arms. And if you look side to side, see if the elbows can line up with the shoulders. Good. And drop those shoulders. You can even draw the elbow tips back so the shoulder blades come a little closer together. The belly's gonna feel wide. Let it expand as you breathe in. Let the heart expand. Sink lower as you breathe out if you want to. Good. And then we're gonna rise up, reach up. Inhale. Turn the back toes in. Palms can come together. You're gonna turn toward the front of your mat. Left toes forward. Good. Bend the front knee if you want to as you reach up and back. And again, hands can come behind your head if that's nice. When you're ready, front knee definitely bends. Hands to the floor, back heel lifts. Last plank pose. Inhaling, lowering if you want to. You can skip it and hold your plank instead. Rolling up if you want. And back to your final down dog of the practice or child's pose. Very nice. Now if you want to play a little, we don't have much time left, so we'll be quick about this. You can bring your big toes together. You can shift forward to plank. You can lean into the right hand and pivot to the outer edge of the right foot and lift the left hand up as you lift the hips up. Breathing in, back to plank as you breathe out. And then over to the other side, feet stack, right hand lifts, hips lift, inhale, and back to plank as you breathe out. And let's just go one more time. Roll to the right, inhale, left hand up, plank, exhale, roll to the left, right hand up, inhale, and plank, exhale. Good. Take your last breath in, drop your knees to the floor, crawl them forward so that you make your way onto the back, onto your back, and hug your knees to your chest. So we like to challenge ourselves gently in yoga, right? So that we just find out what happens mentally, what happens energetically when we feel challenged. Can we manage the challenge with calm? Can we not overreact or get self-critical, right? It's a challenge to our focus, it's a challenge to our equanimity and equilibrium. And so we don't want the challenge to be so much that we're hard on ourselves or straining or struggling. All right, so from here you guys take your feet onto the floor, and then we're just gonna thread the needle. So right ankle bone is gonna cross over the left thigh. You're gonna hug that left leg towards you. So I like to just clasp behind the hamstring. Some people clasp their shin with the fingers. Whatever's comfortable to you. You can flex back the right toes to protect that right knee. And then see if you can close or soften your eyes, soften your jaw and your mouth, and if possible, the breath is still flowing in and out of your nose, and the back of the neck feels long, and you feel settled and supported and safe and not overdoing anything. The breath is smooth. Good. And then all you're going to do is you're going to let the left leg go. You're going to take the foot back onto the floor. Slide that whole right knee over the left knee like we did in the eagle pose, yeah? And then you can just kind of lift your hips up, scooch them over to the right a little, right arm to the right in that cactus or goddess shape, and both knees over to the left. And turn your head whichever way is most comfortable. And see if maybe you can return to that 4-count breath. So there's a 4-count inhalation. You don't have to hold it. And a smooth, relaxing 4-count exhalation. And you just allow yourself to settle and soften and let go. And if you want the breath longer, feel free to make it longer. Good. And then that left hand can help bring the knees back up to center. When they come to center, uncross, bring the feet to the floor, wiggle them together to touch, and let the knees fall apart. Cactusing the arms if you like. Let the front side of the body expand as you breathe in. Usually feels really good. And relax as you breathe out, and then just pull the navel back to take the knees up. We'll do the other side, crossing threading the needle, left ankle bone crosses, left toes can flex back. Go ahead and take that right leg towards you, clasping anywhere you like, back of the neck long, eyes, face, jaw relaxed. And most likely you're going to notice your thoughts, right? They come and they go, they're fast, they're sometimes a surprise. And then just see if you can anchor your mind back into your body and back into your breathing. So you just stay here, stay present. Stay calm and relaxed. Let the breath soothe you. Beautiful. Okay, so we're just going to let go of the right leg. Sole of the foot comes to the floor. Left knee crosses over the right. You can scoot your hips over to the left, cactus the left arm, or have it straight, whatever feels good, and both knees over to the right. Turn the head whichever way is best. Feel the breath, feel the body, feel the floor supporting you. Feel whatever you're feeling, accept it. Can you be okay with it? Can you notice any physical tension, any gripping that you could let go of as you breathe out? Maybe there's thoughts that have a grip on you that you could let go of as you breathe out. So nice. That right hand can help bring the knees back up. When they come up, uncross them again. Let the knees fall apart last time. Feel free to cactus the arms, wiggle the head. Whatever you need here, take a full breath in, expanding. Let it all go as you breathe out. When you're empty, pull the belly in, bring the knees back up. Good, hug the knees to the chest. And then just for fun, let's take a last happy baby pose. Right, and so the hands catch the edges of the feet or just behind the knees if that's nicer. Back of the neck long, shoulders relaxed. Low back on the floor if you need to press the feet against the hands or the legs against the hands to help that, go for it. Relax and breathe. Good, and then if you like, you can hold the toes and open the legs nice and wide. I have a wall in my way a little bit, or just let the hands slide down to the outer or inner legs to open the legs in a big old V shape, yeah? Feel free to wiggle around the feet. We did some standing work today. And when you're ready, the feet come up together and the knees move back to the chest. And I often like to finish by taking the knees in a circle in both directions. Let the low back get a little massage there on the floor. And then let's finish by bringing the nose to the knees, right? And maybe you can wrap your arms around your legs and get small. Good. And just give yourself a big hug and a squeeze and some appreciation and some support here. And even though you're compressed, draw your energy inward and then see if you can take a fuller breath. Expanding in that little ball shape, and then hold the breath for 2, 3, and 4. And let it go as you open the body. You're coming into a Shavasana shape now. Let the legs go long, let the arms go wide. Relax your eyes and shoulders and do any movement that you need so that you're comfortable and still and safe. And then we'll take a last cycle of breath. Breathing in and expanding in all directions from the center outward, past your toes and fingertips. Pause. Keep expanding. Open the lips. Let it all go. Relaxing, settling, returning to center. You don't have to hold the breath empty. Let go of any efforted, altered, patterned breathing. Let your body just receive and release the breath in its own manner, in its own pace, in its own way. Let your eyes and jaw soften. Let your body settle into the earth and let go. Let go of efforting, breathing, thinking, moving, doing, and just simply and completely relax. We'll stay here for a solid 4 minutes. Please take advantage of it. It's so important. The breath moves energy. We moved a lot of energy with our breathing, with our physical bodies. Let that energy have a chance to settle, to absorb, to integrate. Just relax. For some of us, this final pose, Shavasana, is the most challenging because it's hard to not do. But to balance off all the doing that we do, it's really important just to relax, to give yourself this opportunity. So as you rest here and relax, take a moment, please, and just observe how you feel. And offer yourself some compassion, some gratitude for showing up for yourself here today.